afternoon, everyone. My name is Yumi Kwak. I am a patent attorney and I'm in charge of IP-utilized AT development, which is organized by KIPO. Today, the presentation will cover the following 3 points, yet I will mainly go over points related to part 2. As many of the speakers have already discussed, I shall first briefly elaborate on AT development in order to grasp a better idea to the main topic. To begin, I'd like to ask, what is the difference between AT development and general technology development? Well, for one, technology is where methods and devices that result from scientific knowledge are used for practical purpose. It is though through the efforts to solve existing problems, progression in technology is possible. Yet, with AT development, not only do we attempt to solve technical problems, there are limiting factors we must consider, such as the level of appropriateness. In other words, when developing AT, it is necessary to consider the affordability, sustainability, and adaptability of the social cultural environment, as you know. So one may ask whether these factors of appropriateness make large differences in the overall development process. In terms of the technological development, appropriateness, although very important in its own right, is merely out of many limiting factors. With that said, there is no particular change in the process just because it is AT. But since it is important to listen to the issues of the local residents, we use a consumer-oriented methodology such as human-centered design. Appropriate technology doesn't attempt to suddenly gratify new needs that didn't exist before, nor does it require new functions. Whether it be water, energy, or information communication, AT is necessary comes from issues that the world has experienced sometime once before. In other words, most of the needs from AT involve general problems that have or do exist within our lives, thereby meaning that the solution to fix such problems already exist. However, it is due to the disparity of each country's level of infrastructure, natural environment, purchasing power, and the level of technological advancement, which makes it difficult to utilize AT. In this regard, the localization of technology is highly necessary. We can shift and replace it with how can we localize already existing technologies. If we utilize the existing plans to solve the problems instead of spending time attempting to create something out of nothing, we can quickly discover more suitable technology for local regions. So, it is in this way patent information serves as a useful, effective tool for appropriate technology development. To better understand the reasons behind such claim, let us first, I'd like to examine why we need to utilize patent information. But these you have already heard from previous lectures, so I'd like to skip this. I'd like to address it briefly. So, as you already know, patent system is not only for protecting rights, but it is also for developing the industry. So, and it is a repository of technical information which is standardized, which have standardized format, and also these days, many documents are becoming digitalized, so with anyone that has access to the internet being able to browse full text of published patent documents through commercial databases or free of charge. So in this regard, patent acts as an optimal source of technical literature, which helps in closing the technological gap between developing and already developed countries. If that is so what part in patent report would help us in best understanding how to use it? In regards to utilization, the most important areas are detailed description and drawings. According to the Article 42 of Patent Act of Korea, a detailed description of invention shall be provided in a clear and detailed manner to ensure that any person with ordinary knowledge in the art can easily make the invention. Also, the US also states that the specification shall contain a written description in such full, clear, concise, and exact terms as to enable any person skilled in the art to make and use the same. Yeah. So as you can see here, we can obtain a detailed method of implementation through the description. These are the drawings in the patents. So since detailed descriptions are explained in the drawings, so the drawing serves as a great aid in better understanding inventions. This is especially true when it comes to mechanical inventions, as drawings become particularly useful when instructions are written in foreign language. And when can you utilize this patent information for development? This is the process of product development. At these steps, you utilize the patent information. At the design phase, at the design phase, any information obtained through patent searches can be used for creating concepts. And at the third phase, patent search can be used to solve specific problems. Then how can you utilize patents? To put it simplified, you can utilize patent in two ways. You can search within the same field of where you are attempting to solve the specific problem. In this case, you must check the expiration date so that infringement issues do not occur. Second, you can apply the problem-solving principles through searching within the different field. So let's take a look at each ways one by one. Patent searches within the same field can be done for collecting information at the first stage of technical development. In the case of AT development, technology is not the only problem faced. As I stated before, we must consider lifestyles of local residents and also a business plan adapted to culture. And I think we need to consider the product design reflecting the users. Therefore, it is best to share the ideas of product designers, business, and technical experts since the first stage. People who are not specialists in patent or technology need to understand the overall basic flow of technology. So with that being said, the question could arise, can patent information be valuable for these people? Yeah, I say yes. It is believed that people can achieve such goals using patent searches. First, they can grasp the trend of technology and understand changing development. Here you can see the result of the searches with keyword pump and IPC. If you click the year or any color on the graph, you can also see the chosen group of data. This allows us to be aware of recent technological development of a pump. Checking patent of each country may give you an understanding to the main issues of each country. Secondly, by searching within the same patent fields, we can understand key issues and the quality of specific technology in certain times and areas. Patent specification must include issues that need to be solved, as well as background information. Since the a subject matter of patent is merely a novel idea. Through this, we can find niche technologies which have solved similar problems certain nations have been experienced. When you search patents for a research purpose, you must scan abstract and drawings. It's sufficient to glance at the major principal content, but if you want to know more detailed description, you have to refer to the invention. In order to search for significant patents in a similar field, you can refer to the relevant keywords and IPC. Keywords may be combined by using the Boolean operators like and, or, not, near. If keyword functions fail into a various field, it will cause a noise in the result. So in any case, you can refine the result by utilizing a classification symbol called IPC. IPC are symbol for the classification of patents and utility models according to the different areas of technology to which they pertain. What you see here is the IPC of micro irrigation pump, which I showed you before in the previous slide. IPC is able to classify the section by its letter and categorize the class by its numbers. If you want to browse and search for patents IPC, you can get information from the WIPO site. If it is difficult to use the references, you can get a specific IPC from certain patent applications. For example, if this patent, micro irrigation pump, is the exact one you are looking for, you can search with the other similar patent using according IPC. So I'd like to explain the second method for utilizing patent, which is search patent within different fields. This methodology is based on function-oriented search, otherwise known as FOS, which was created by Gentry Partners in 2005. FOS is a search method to find the solution of performing specific function. FOS pursues an innovation of product with low cost so that it is used for technical innovation. If any component that performs specific function has problems, for example, it is too large or expensive, FOS finds new ways to examine the solution of different fields. For this purpose, first, generalize the function of the component to create a suitable function word. From there, find the leading area that is most commonly used for the said function. Once the general function is found from the leading area, apply the conceptual solution to original problem. This is a typical examples of FOS. A principal function of teeth whitening tray is to inject whitening ingredients into the tooth. If we modify the generalized word, we can change it into controlled release of substance. Afterwards, identify the leading area that controls the release of the substance, and it is most commonly used by pharmacies and medical field. People searched the method for performing the said function in the simplest and the most economical ways within pharmacy field and find out nicotine patches. The same ideas used for nicotine patches are applied for teeth whitening, where the whitening tray is replaced by a whitening film. Maybe I'm sure that many of you have seen this whitening film, maybe or not. This idea made P&G, Procter & Gamble, hold a dominant position by leading the market share by 45%, and this product has reached a status of being a $12 billion brand. Even though this case may seem irrelevant to AT, it is worth noting because it reduced the cost and made a more user-friendly product. Utilizing this FOS process and pattern search, we could come out new approach to solve the problems that arise in the process when developing technology. We call it Open Patent Intelligence Search in KIPA, that is developed for innovation of general technology. In order to improve or replace a certain element that performs a specific function, we can generalize a function, and then secondly, formulate the patent search formula with the generalized keyword, and then search the patent. When you obtain the result, figure out a leading area by using IPC. IPC, which has the largest number of applications that can result to high probability, the leading area. And after that, remove the noise by using IPC or a NOT operator. If you find significant patent, now you can apply the means performing the function you want. I think claims in patent specifications are a set of means for a certain function, so that apply FOS for patent search works quite well. Then let us understand this process through the case of IP sharing project, and I'd like to elaborate the method of formulating patent search formula. In 2012, we were asked to develop a cook stove for Guatemala Good Neighbors, an NGO. NGOs required a cook stove which had better thermal efficiency and less weight than the O'Neill stove. O'Neill stove is very famous stove which is invented by Help International in Guatemala. So they required better performance. The requirements requested reflected Guatemala's culture, with Guatemala's staple food being tortilla, and they use wide plates to transfer the heat. So, but anyway, those two conditions contradict one another. In order to reduce the weight, we have changed the material of the body and reduce the thickness. In spite of thinner frame, we need to find a solution for improving the overall efficiency. According to the process of OPIS, first we generalize the function of cook stove which affect thermal efficiency. These are the functions affecting thermal efficiency. And as you can see, more specific means for performing those functions are on the right side. There are many factors related to thermal efficiency, so we have listed as many of those factors as possible. Let's take a look at this high temperature combustion. When you use four means such as delaying heat, elimination smoke, it makes the wood burn at the higher temperature. Actually, I don't have many ideas about the stove at first. However, I have drawn up these functions and means using pattern search. And this is the way to formulate the pattern search formula. In order to search the element function, such as keeping the combustor's temperature high, separate the object, and the action happen to the object will appear like this. After that, write down the synonyms for each. You can also put in specific functioning high temperature combustion. As you can see, the action and object choose connecting using AND operator, and synonyms and specified keywords should also be connected using the OR operator. If you use near or ADJ, which is adjacent operator, instead of AND, you can obtain better accurate result. For your reference, in the case of AT, we need product which can be produced with low cost and locally driven. So if you put keywords such as low price, simple, portable, it will be helpful to find useful technologies. So when you search with this formula, you can see many kinds of fields for improving thermal efficiency, such as garbage furnace and gudel, which is Korean traditional heating apparatus. If there are a lot of inconsistencies in the results, you can put an IPC or node operators to refine the result. For this case, we found out some applicable patterns from the heating field and furnaces. Heaters are similar field to cook stove, but garbage furnaces are from the different technical field. Anyway, we decided to apply the plates with holes which delay heat transfers and help high temperature combustion. Of course, when we apply it, we modify the elements to meet the local requirements, and we used expired patent to keep away from infringing. Patent specification not only provides means for functions, but also optimal parameters. This is greatest strength to enhancing applicability compared to other technical documents. We can also reduce our trial and error attempts by applying figures disclosed in the specification. For example, applying the total area of holes in the heat delaying plate to optimize the effect. By doing so, we enhance the thermal efficiency around 8%, even though we cut down the weight. This is the conclusion of second phase. I'd like to look at limitations first. The methodology of using patents are still on the verification phase, so we need to accumulate more successful cases. Also, selecting leading areas and noise filtering depends on the ability of the individual who conducts pattern search, so the result can be irregular. In addition, it takes time for a beginner to get accustomed. But in spite of these limitations mentioned above, patent information are the largest technical open source which are standardized. And it is worth using because it gives us detailed information that helps elements operate optimally. These days, many opportunities have become open for us with the Chinese utility model applications greatly increasing, because among these are many technologies are fit into AT. More than anything, even if they are not as innovative as Q-drum or something brilliant things, I believe patents may contribute greatly to increasing the people's lives through appropriate technology, such as oil extractor and like wastewater treatment system, those kind of inventions. So, approach in searching patents. So, commercial services offer enhanced or value-added patent information. However, search engines are constantly improving, so the free search site seems sufficient enough. So I just wrote down the free services. Many national patent offices have launched free of charge patent information databases, which are open to the public. So for example, using Patent Scope by WIPO gives you access to 36 million patent documents. Patent Scope not only provides English documents, but also other documents disclosed in various languages. On top of that, you can search up to 8 million patent documents via Google and also you can access to USPTO or WIPO PCT and EPO database through Lens by Cambia. So also you can use other websites as well. Yeah. So this is all I have. So I'd like to say this lastly. I hope in the future more people become interested on patent utilization. and I have hopes that we can find new ways and methods toward its development. So thank you so much for listening.